Good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey. Today is Friday, September 30th, 2016, and it's about 4:30 p.m. This is actually a continuation of the video I did pertaining to the shooting death of Keith Lamont Scott of Charlotte, North Carolina. Like many people, we're looking on YouTube and social media to try to find out what happened. I don't want to find information to make it lean one way more than the other. But I do want to find the truth. And the more I looked at the videos, the more confused I got. One thing with this shooting, in my opinion, I think it was a senseless shooting and that the police overreacted. That they could have used other means. They could have, in my opinion, tackled the individual. Again, this man, Mr. Scott, he was in a motorcycle accident about a year ago. And he was still recovering from that accident. So he's not going to be able to fight a strong police officer. But what happened, happened. And so I want to share with you some of the videos that I found that is of question to me. Again, my attempt is not to belittle any of the witnesses, but to just try to understand what is going on. I'm going to talk about different aspects of the shooting. I'm going to show you videos of two witnesses in particular that were at the scene, two young women. I'm going to show you the camcorder of the cops and the wife of the victim, and then I want to also show video that was done by the ABC television people, the news reporters, that I thought, with what was shown in the videos, I thought they were giving out misinformation. And then I also want to talk about some of the people who were protesting as a result of the shooting death of Mr. Scott. And then lastly, in this video that I'm going to do, I'm going to discuss something that's going to take an effect tomorrow. And I hope that you watch all of the video, because I'm going to mention that part at the end of the video. Okay? So the first part I want to talk about, that I'm going to show you, is the video that you see in front of you, entitled "Eyewitness to Keith Lamont Scott Police Murder in Charlotte Says He Had a Book and Not a Gun." Okay?
He got out his car with his hands up to comply because the police told him to get out the car. He got out the car, the book fell off his lap, the book he was reading. He got off the car, and then he walked around his car to the back of his car. When he walked back there, when his wife was running down saying, "No, stop, don't do that," by the time she got right here to where his car was, they had shot that man 4 times. But the police insist.
Okay, that's the first video that I want to show you. Okay, and please keep in mind what she says about that. She's saying that his hands were up. Okay, this is the second video that I want to show you. Okay, and this video, it has, like, even though we just saw this person speak, the person to your left, she adds this other information that she mentions. Okay, so I'll play this video, just a snippet of it.
I believe in it as a cover-up. See? they made a mistake and they're doing their best to make sure they cover up that mistake. That's what's happening.
Do you agree that the officer that was mentioned is the same one that you saw yesterday?
No, man, it was not a black officer that killed him. It was a white officer that killed him. He was bald-headed. The black officer came on the scene maybe 10, 15 minutes later, and he was the one doing the CPR on him. Now, I'm not saying, by that time, I'm pretty sure the man was already gone because he didn't die in the hospital at 4 o'clock. He died out here at 2:30.
You actually saw the shooting?
I actually saw the shooting and I saw that man die. I saw him take his last breath. I saw him move. I think that was nothing. He moved no more after that.
And he got out of the car with a gun?
No, sir. He got out of the car with a book.
You saw the book?
I saw the book.
Can you
Now, I
describe
can't tell you what the name of the book was, but it was a black cover.
And so he got out and he was holding it?
No, it was on his lap. He got out, his hands was up. He got out his car, he got out the car, I'm pretty sure he just opened up the door and stepped out his truck, because it's a truck, so he don't have to do all that shit when you get out of the car.
And you said this earlier, but I want to make sure I get this exactly right. To the best of your memory, what are the exact words that Mr. Scott said to the officers?
He said, what is the problem? What did I do? What's wrong? And while he's saying that, because they're telling him to come to them. So he's walking to the back of his truck. And he's asking him, what's the problem? What did I do? And they're like stepping over the book and everything. Because the book done fell off his lap by this time. He's like, what did I do? What's the problem? And when he get back there, the police muffle something because I can't hear. And then if they know, they shoot that man 4 times.
What his name was, because I couldn't get close enough to him.
That's fine.
He was standing right on the other side of these trees.
Mm-hmm.
Witnesses that were videotaping the men receiving CPR were videotaping, and he told them and me, everybody was sitting there, that
You saw that he was receiving CPR?
there's video.
This video?
Yeah, people don't ever listen. And he said, if y'all get any closer, you can get shot. You're gonna get shot. And we all were like,
Yeah.
it's war,
Mm-hmm.
It's just the real story's not being told.
I'm sure it's not yet.
Not being told. They didn't do CPR on the man after he got shot.
Yeah.
2 of the officers went straight into his vehicle.
Went straight into the vehicle.
Straight into the vehicle.
So you didn't see if anything was had been planted?
They blocked it.
You blocked it
You
off?
couldn't see it. The door was blocked.
Okay.
And when asked, are y'all going to help him, that's when the guy that really shot him. It's not the black officer that shot him.
Oh, can you say that a little bit louder?
It was not a black officer that shot him. There wasn't a black officer anywhere near it.
Okay.
It was a white officer. He was bald.
Alright.
And on a red shirt. You wouldn't know he was a police officer.
Gotcha. Nope. Alright. I'm not going to ask you your name and put it on anything, but thank you.
My name is Tracy McClain.
Tracy
McClain.
Tracy McClain.
L-E-A-N.
Mm-hmm. So the picture they have on Facebook is it wasn't the guy. So the picture they have on social media of the white guy.
Of the black officer?
Yeah, the black officer, that wasn't the guy.
No.
It's funny.
He wasn't even one of the ones.
Wasn't even
I
one.
tried CPR anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There you go.
It's just,
You said he was out here reading that all the time.
and 5 days
You read 5
for
here?
his son to get off the school bus.
Yep.
Son's in elementary school. His
Yep.
son got off the bus yesterday and walked, because the bus stops right there. Walked right into it.
Thank you.
In comparison with the 2 witnesses, the woman in green and the other woman in red, they both agree that it was not the black man that shot Mr. Scott. They both agree that the man was bald who did the shooting, and the witness number 2, the woman wearing the red top, she had also added that not only was the shooter a white man and was bald, but that he was also wearing the red top. Okay? Also, that the first witness that was wearing the green top, she made mention about the black guy, and that the black guy had come later on in the scene. She says that the black guy arrived 17 minutes later. Now, I just assumed when she said 17 minutes later that she may have misspoken and said meant to say 17 seconds later, but not 17 minutes later, because we do see in the video that the black man was there in the beginning. Also, the first witness wearing the green top, she also mentioned that Mr. Scott's hands were up when he left the vehicle. However, my view of the video, I do not see his hands up, but his hands were down below by his thighs. And she did also mention that there was a black book on his lap, and upon getting out of the vehicle, that it fell to the floor and that he actually stepped on it. Now, when I watched the video, I could not see anything on the floor, any black object on the floor, but maybe it was in the movement, maybe it got kicked underneath the vehicle. I don't know. And he also, the witness wearing the green top also mentioned that he spoke and he had his hands up indicating what's wrong. It wasn't possible for me to hear him speak because of the distance. And then witness number 2, the woman that was wearing the red top, she never mentions about the position of the man's hands upon leaving the vehicle. And I thought that was very important to know. She doesn't make mention of that. She also mentioned that in the shooting, after Mr. Scott was shot, that 2 of the cops entered Mr. Scott's vehicle. She could not see what they were doing inside because the view was blocked. And she also collaborated with the first witness that he does go in his car every day, 5 days a week, to wait for his son to come home from school, and that he does read in his car. Also to note that witness number 2 that was wearing the red top, she had mentioned that the cops or cop had verbally threatened the people who were watching the event, and that if any of them came closer, that they would be shot. That is very important to know, and to listen to the different video clips to ascertain whether that was the case. And again, at what point was that mentioned by the cops? Now I'm going to go to the next video, and this is the camcorder that's in the police vehicle that is filming right now. I'm going to now turn it on. And it's this car here that it's going to come out from. Okay. Okay, watch. Okay, I put it on pause for a moment. Now notice this vehicle here. This is the vehicle in question. And you already have here 2 officers. This one and then there's another one. Okay, I'm going to continue the video. He's coming out. Look at his hands. He's backing up. Okay. Let me continue. Notice very carefully here, you see the man wearing the red top, and he was initially right next to the body, and then it looks like his foot was dragging something below. But again, you cannot tell because the police car is blocking, and also in this view, the black man is in view tending to the victim.
We got shots fired. One suspect down, Legacy Court. All up to the 10-4, we got one suspect down.
Passing gloves.
We're right in front.
He picks up something. He picks up gloves. As you can see, it's folding in his hand. Okay, we just put it on pause. So you see this individual with his police weapon, and then this is the victim here in the blue pants. Okay, I just wanted to stop it for a minute so you can see what's going on. I'm going to start it again. Okay, you don't see him now, his head is being blocked. Look on the ground. Okay. It's already shot. Okay. Okay. So initially you don't see anything on the ground yet. Okay, the victim, Mr. Scott, he's still alive. You can hear him moaning. And it's 4 officers that you see at this point.
Back up! You on?
So you have 2 that are touching the body. The man in the back here, this is the 3rd person. He's the black police officer. Okay.
I'm gonna get my bag and start getting
On the
some equipment.
bottom left of the screen,
Take back my car.
he is going to
I'm good.
administer
Get gloves.
first
We
aid.
need to hold the wound.
Okay, he's about the Get gloves. something to compress the wound. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Go to the next video. Now this one in particular is going to show different items that you see on the ground. Going to begin the video. Sorry. Sorry about
But
that.
look down at the left foot of the officer in red. You can see the gun next to his left heel. He's clearly guarding something, and it isn't a copy of the Quran that Mr. Scott's mother said he was reading in the car. That is a gun. From this angle, you can see the gun next to the officer's boot. Every other police officer is stepping around as they work, but the officer in red is planted firmly around the gun to protect it until forensics arrive.
Okay, you do not know whether it's a gun or not. Okay, but let me begin again.
I got this photo from the NBC News site. It was taken by one of the witnesses who saw the entire event. I've taken the photo and turned it around in different directions. I've applied filters to clean it up on my own computer and looked at it from several different angles. It has the shape of a gun, including the front sight on the muzzle and the trigger guard.
Okay, I'm going to play this beginning of this video, the same one, the beginning, because it's the wife's video. Okay, I'm going to begin.
Here are the gunshots.
I'm going to turn the sound off so you can focus just on the video itself. But pay close attention as the wife who is taking this video, look on the ground. Okay, there was something there on the ground. It was slight. Let me keep it going. You see something already there. And it's behind him. But you don't really know what it is. They're showing this video in slow motion. That's what they're trying to do here. Because at some point you're going to see objects on the ground. So the officer, he's taking out gloves, and then then it drops. Okay, see that it just fell. And you saw it bend. So that's a glove. And now he has another pair of gloves in his hands. So he can't use the dirty gloves, so he has to get new ones. Now he picked up the dirty glove, the one in the red, from the ground. So that's the second glove. stop. So I do not know. These two are clearly gloves, but this one here, it is in between his legs. And again, it's such a poor, you don't know. It's a dark object, and so you really cannot see detail. And I've seen many videos of people calling these things here guns. And if they would have seen the video of this officer here dropping them, even when he saw it dropping, this one YouTuber, he still called it a gun. A gun doesn't bend like this when you saw this item falling on the ground. And then this one is clearly, you know, gloves also. And again, you see in his hands, as time goes on with this video, you see him clearly putting on black gloves, because this is the person that is going to give him medical aid, okay? And the two witnesses, at least one of them mentioned that it was the black fellow that was giving him CPR. At this scene, there's a total of 5 police officers, and they're in different positions. But in this frame, you only see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Here, okay? So I found it interesting that that I don't see any bald-headed person, okay? So I don't know who they're referring to. Okay. So let me begin with the next video. Okay. I'm going to turn it on.
Forced to shoot.
Mr. Scott exited his vehicle armed with a handgun as the officers continued to yell at him to drop it.
Police say they later recovered that gun. Our affiliate WSOC obtaining this photo of a gun recovered at the scene.
Let me continue.
Scott's family tonight still has many questions.
The son was in school. He was waiting on his son.
He was getting on the bus.
Okay. Let me back it up a little bit. Now this is by ABC News. Now again, I don't know what this is. It could be, or could be like, you see something like an opening. I don't know whether it's something with a gun, whether a cartridge goes in there, or it could be just the opening of the glove. You know, when you put the glove in, the opening of the glove. I don't know. But ABC News is calling it a gun, but we don't really know. I haven't heard any of the officers state that they had, you know, which officer was standing by the alleged weapon. And you have all these things falling on the ground. And what was falling on the ground in 2 specific instances were black gloves. And the police officer that was wearing the red top, he did go in his pocket and did pull out glove to hand to the black police officer. So I do not know whether that's one of them that was on the ground, or could it really be a gun? I don't know. Okay. Now I want to discuss about the actual the protesters and some of the rioters. So let me turn it on.
Basically turned into clashes, and it broke out between protesters.
Okay, I put on pause. This person is the focus of attention for me when the reason why I'm showing you this video. Okay, I'm going to begin. Continue.
Police outside the Omni Hotel. You're looking at these pictures right here. Police riot here fired off tear gas and flash grenades as demonstrators threw objects at officers. There were also reports of looting, and 2 employees at the nearby Hyatt House Hotel were assaulted by protesters. One person was shot and is in critical condition. Earlier, they were reporting that that person was dead, but we have since learned that is not the case. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg police chief said it was a civilian-on-civilian shooting. North Carolina Governor, meanwhile, Pat McCrory, issued a statement saying he is sending out state troopers to help the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. The National Guard and State Highway Patrol are also being deployed, and we're hearing that it could take up...
My apologies. Okay, so there's that. To show you another video. And this was the same lady that I just showed you a moment ago, but watch what happens. Watch very closely. Okay, let me show you that again. Okay, you see the lady. She's being arrested. And I don't know why they have on the ground. She's not resisting, but yet they still put her on the belly. Okay, watch, nod, the pat. Okay, I've never seen anything like that. Okay, and in another video, you did see the male here also standing nearby her, but they aren't doing anything like throwing rocks or anything like that. And for whatever reason, out of this whole crowd, these 2 were singled out and put on the ground and handcuffed, even though they're not fighting. So I thought that was telling. And then you see them giving like an acknowledgement or something, you know. Okay. Watch again. There's a nod and a pat. Like they know each other. So that is very problematic for me, because these are supposed to be protesters. You get arrested because you're supposed to be doing something unlawful, or you're causing damage, whatever, but you don't see that. But yet you see, looks like an acknowledgement. And then lastly, this is the video that I think is very important. This is the last one I'm going to show you.
Videoed what took place. Her husband has been murdered, and if you tell me that she should care about a law that literally is in place to protect police anyway, and that she should not have shown it, I'm with the wife. I don't care what the law says. And the law that is expected to go into effect October 1 is a law that shouldn't be in place in the first place, that says you can't tell the public, and you can't show the public, and nobody can expose what they have videoed. I don't believe in that law. I think it's an unjust law. I think the wife is correct. I stand with her. I am outraged that this man has been murdered right before his wife's eyes when she was pleading with him not to kill him. I don't care what the law says.
Congresswoman Maxine Waters, thank you very much for joining.
Okay, that is the main issue of this video. So you have a lot of chaos going on. You have a man by the name of Lamont Scott, who's in his vehicle, And to note that the police officers did not originally come to that building complex for him. They went for some other individual, and they allegedly saw him with a gun in his vehicle, or that he entered his vehicle with a gun, and that the police officers that were undercover left the scene and then came back, as what you see in the videos. And so they, for whatever reason, were on hyper alert. I have to also note that in North Carolina, it is an open carry state. That means you can carry a firearm. So for Mr. Scott to enter his vehicle with an alleged handgun is not illegal. So why did they approach him when they came back to the scene with backup with such vengeance against him? And then you have, again, that I showed you about the rioters and the protesters, and you saw a lot of people who were, were throwing things, at the demonstration. But the two individuals, the woman in particular, that they put on the ground, lying her on her belly and handcuffed her. Why did they go to that extreme to put handcuffs on her? And why did it look like that they knew each other and the pat? I didn't understand that. And then ultimately, this whole scenario with the shooting is to ultimately lead to a law that's going to take place October 1st, 2016, which is tomorrow. That's on a Saturday. That is the issue. And this incident is being used to usher in that you cannot film anymore. So you can be somewhere far away and maybe you have a zoom-in lens and you're filming police activity and that you cannot air it. This is the real deadliness about this event. That future events are going to be protecting the police officers and not the civilians, so that you cannot find out what is going on about evidence. And we've seen in life that sometimes evidence is planted on people, that their word is used against the victim, and they have no say. I mean, the victim, if you don't have any witnesses, they can't defend themselves. So this law that's going to take into effect tomorrow is like a nail in the coffin. So that's all that I want to share with you today pertaining to this video. And definitely share this video with friends, family members. You can discuss it, and you could comment below to add commentary to it. Again, I do not know what's going on, but this whole thing is not sitting right with me. And again, you could subscribe to Spirit Journey and look at my other channels that I have on YouTube. And again, to give me the thumbs up. Peace, guys. Bye-bye.